Football Manager Creators Cup Round 1 FM Grasshopper vs What If League. Hello everyone and welcome to the What If League. Today is the long-awaited video of Round 1 fixture between FM Grasshopper and myself in the Football Manager Creators Cup. It took me quite a lot of time to produce this video, apologies for that. I had to edit it and actually make it a bit nicer for everybody watching to be able to enjoy it. I want to make a disclaimer here, the quality of the video is not going to be the best. There was a lot of lag during the game and unfortunately I was not able to fix that in video editing in any given way. What you can see right now is that I'm doing some opposition instructions based on the selection of FM Grasshopper. As you can see, he has selected to play with a lot of midfielders, 4 midfielders and a defensive midfielder, while I have decided to go with a 4-3-1-2, which means that I am emphasizing on attack a bit more than my opponent. Hopefully this is going to play out in my favor. But as we are already after the game, I guess most of you already know what happened with this fixture if you are following the Football Manager Creators Cup. As you can see, the main threats from Grasshopper's team are Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and I would say Marek Hamšík and Julian Weigl. They were the main players that I was afraid that they're going to make my team suffer. Before the game started, I also had time to fix my set piece takers. So as you can see, I'm currently putting the corner takers, then I'm going to go on with the free kick takers, throw-in takers, etc, etc, so that we are ready for whatever happens during the game. I will use this time just to explain what were the rules of the game. We were playing Fantasy Draft in Football Manager 2018 with £500 million transfer budget and 5-minute waiting time. We had to only select 18 players since we are going to play one game only, which means the starting 11 and the 7 subs. Other than that, there were no restrictions. Of course, in the Fantasy Draft you can only select a player on one side of the game, so we couldn't select the same player for the both teams. And now it's time for kickoff. As you can see on the screen, the game was very laggy and the motion of the players was not really what we expected and what we wanted it to be. But it is what it is. I guess it's my internet connection that caused all those problems, so apologies for everybody watching. It is a bit funny or irritating, depends how you look at it, to look at the game like that. Maybe I should have tried to watch it in 2D. I'm not sure if this was going to fix anything. I'm not sure if the 3D engine somehow is affected by the internet connection speed, or if we watch the game in 2D, if it's going to be any better. But in any case, my team started the competition a bit stronger, and because I had instructions shoot on sight, my guys actually managed to accumulate quite a lot of shots in the early stages of the game. In the very beginning we started with 2 shots, so one was blocked, one was away, and then as I was kind of overrunning the opposition third of the field, we were dominating play and were continuing to accumulate shots. As you can see here, Versailles has thrown to De Bruyne back to the right fullback, and we have a low cross here to the center where David Lopez had a shot blocked. This is what happens when you have shoot on sight. Good thing is that my defenders were able to pick up any balls that were sent forward to Aubameyang, and that way we minimized any threats that could come from that. On the other hand, the FM Grasshopper goalkeeper Oblak was quite safe for most of the game, and all of the shots were dealt with easily. As you can see in the early stages of the game, the What If League team is dominating not only possession but definitely dominating the shot statistics. Things didn't change a lot with the involvement of the first half. I was predominantly attacking from the right wing. Here we see Hurricane is going near the goal line, and his cross was very poor, but then the rebound was picked up by David Lopez. Another blocked shot. This time the ball is hitting the corner flag, and it's cleared for a throw-in. So most of the game was played out like that. We had a lot of shots blocked, and the good thing was that Grasshopper's team was always on the back foot, and they were not really able to attack while we were dominating play. At this moment, 10 shots against 0, and this is where the first shot for Grasshopper's team has happened. Aspilicueta here is going to take this throw-in. Nothing really happens. Augustsson trying to come up with something through the middle. Hamsik, and Hamsik was the main creator for the opponent, so I was really worried what is going to happen. And this cross to Aubameyang was something that really concerned me, but gladly it didn't materialize into something more serious. I will let you watch the game and most highlights without any comments because, as you can see, everything is pretty self-explanatory, and I'm only going to switch in when there is something interesting to note. Now here is something interesting. You can see here, first of all, there were a lot of mistakes while both teams were trying to play the ball. A lot of misplaced passes back and forward, and at some point I managed to get the ball for a bit more time. David Lopez here is just in front of the opposition penalty area. The keeper saves, and then a very poor clearance, which Kane is taking advantage and making the result 1-0 for the What If League. So we are ahead. Here is the goal another time. You can see the replay, the interplay between my players, which was not really intricate, to be honest, and Jan Oblak made a horrible mistake. I'm sure that Grasshopper was furious with that piece of play from the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper, but that's life, and Hurricane managed to get the most out of it. Diego Costa was wonderful in that game, and he played very well. Unfortunately, somewhere around the 40th minute he got injured, and this forced me to change plans. But I decided to keep him on the field until the end of the first half. Since this is a one-off game, there is no point in really trying to keep him with only a slight injury. I didn't care if he's going to break both his legs, to be honest, as long as he can play until the end of the first half. So That's why I kept him even though he was injured. I see that Grasshopper also did the same for Askasibar in his midfield. I guess it really makes no point in trying to keep those guys healthy for such fantasy draft games. And that was it for the first half. As you can see, our team was quite dominant. 20 shots 20 shots total, with only a few of them on target, but that's not a problem. So my initial thought about Diego Costa was to replace him with Jackson Martinez, but then I thought the result is 1-0 in my advantage, and Jackson Martinez is not really suited to play as a defensive forward, which I really liked when Diego Costa played in that role. So after a few deliberations, I actually decided to switch things around, and instead of playing with 2 strikers, I switched tactics and moved the second striker as a defensive midfielder. Afterwards, since I didn't have a very suitable player who I was sure that he's going to take control over that area in the field, I moved one of the existing midfielders in that position. And that player was Saul. So in a second I'm going to change with Saul. No, not David Lopez. And here it is. So it's Saul, who is going to play the rest of the game as a regista. Or regista. I'm not sure what's the best pronunciation of the word. In his place I'm going to play with Andreas Pereira, and he's most suited to play as a playmaker, but I already have Kevin De Bruyne playing as a playmaker, and I don't like playing with more than 1 playmakers. So Pereira is going to be a supporting central midfielder. There weren't any other changes that I wanted to make to the squad, so that was everything necessary, and we restarted the game with the second half. And this right here, I think, was the most dangerous situation in front of my goal. This is where Hamšík actually managed to get on a very, very good position with my goalkeeper Ederson, but fortunately for me, his shot went wide from the goal, and the result remained 1-0 for my side. The game didn't change a lot, and this is the second most important highlight of the game. You can see my team is playing the ball around, then Grasshopper's team is trying to clear, they're not very successfully, which brings the play again to the right wing. We have a cross, and here we have a penalty. Azpilicueta has pushed Harry Kane, and the referee is very, very precise. There is a penalty here. Harry Kane is going to take it. In the meantime, Grasshopper, I think, is making some changes to his tactics already. And probably you know Hurricane doesn't miss a lot of penalties, so fingers crossed he's not going to do it here against Jan Oblak. And he doesn't. He scored his second for the game, and it's 2-0 What If League against the Grasshopper in the Football Manager Creators Cup. After those couple of attacks where my guys managed to get into good positions, but because of the shoot on sight tactics and instructions, they really didn't make the most of it. I decided then to make some changes. I put Harry Maguire in place of Saul, who was getting very tired, and Harry Maguire was going to play as a halfback since we are leading 2-0, and it was about time we started playing for the result. So Harry Maguire in place of Saul. And very, very soon afterwards, Kevin De Bruyne was also very tired, so I decided to play Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling was going to play as an attacking midfielder, and Andreas Pereira was going to be the playmaker. So those two substitutes were more to make sure that they have fresh pair of legs on the field, people and players who can run, since I was pretty sure that Grasshopper has employed some overload tactics, some gung-ho probably, that he's trying to get something out of this game. My players were continuing with the non-stop shots against Oblak, and here we see a very, very unfortunate miss. It was a great position, a great situation, but it didn't materialize into a goal, which was alright in this situation where I was leading comfortably, but in other situations that would have been a terrible, terrible miss indeed. And here now we see that we have the final most dangerous attack from Grasshopper's team. We see Koke, who is putting this lovely ball for their striker, and unfortunately for him, his shot has been saved by Ederson. It was a very, very nice opportunity, a very clear-cut chance, but they missed it, which is great for me, of course. And this meant that the result remained 2-0. Afterwards, this shot from Hamsik, I have no comment. You can see the ball was closer to the touchline than to the goal, so nothing to add there. We are now in the added time and nothing significant is happening. This is the final highlight before the full time, and this is it. It's all over. What If League 2, Grasshopper, FM Grasshopper 0. We are off to the next round.